In the world of film, there are certain movies that stand above the rest, casting their shadows over everything that comes after. Each week, we discuss these keystone films and the copycats that they inspire. This season on Keystone Copycats, The Point Breakdown. Hello, my good friends, and welcome to Keystone Copycats with Chris and Zach. I am your host, Zach, and he, of course, is your other host.
Chili stuffer.
That's correct.
It's me.
Hey there, buddy.
How I look so good.
How you doing, buddy boy?
I'm good, man. You know what I saw earlier today?
No.
A dog in a backpack. However, I'm not
Really?
going to go on my angry rant because it was a Yorkie.
Oh, I like
and
a
it was-
Yorkie.
I was so fucking happy. It changed my life. I mean, not really.
I was going to say, tell me
It didn't change anything about me, but I did like it.
tell me how he changed
That was
you.
too big. It was too big. I wasn't ready to back it up.
So, like, he didn't change your life.
I mean, I don't know if it was a he because he was in the backpack.
Sorry, it didn't
Unless-
change your life.
Unless he was hung, because then it would have been sticking out the top
Hung?
like a baguette.
Point that mic right at your mouth
My mouth?
Yeah.
Like this?
instead of, like, to the side like this.
Could they not hear me if I was doing that? What about
No,
this?
you're driving me nuts. I have to go in and fix all the levels and do all the stuff.
That's awesome.
I want to have less work.
You know what? That changed my life. Knowing that you had to do more work changed my life. Hey, how you doing?
Oh, I'll tell you right now.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm not too shabby.
Okay.
Not anymore.
Okay.
I used to be quite shabby, but now less so.
Well, I mean, you're looking. You look.
Tubby?
You're looking like a dude who I know.
Like
you
a
know
big
what I'm saying?
old ball of fat.
Well, like
A nice haircut and a pair of glasses.
man, when you called yourself Pat or Patty, that was just fucking stupendous.
Look, I'm very aware.
Are you? Like, that didn't seem like you were fucking aware of jack shit, bro.
Oh man.
Hey, I got bad news.
Oh no.
I got bad news. We gotta review this movie, Sugar and Spice.
Review?
We gotta do a review.
What
of
podcast do you think you're on?
it. I forget.
We don't review stuff.
I've got so many podcasts going on right now.
We
in
only
my head.
compare things to Point Break. You ever?
We're gonna review this son of a bitch.
Let me ask you a question. If you owned a beverage company,
I do.
would you put something on the
unofficial.
lid, like inside, like a little trivia thing, like Snapple, or like a thing about Nantucket, like the Nantucket
I bet you're
Nectars?
expecting that I'm gonna say yeah. But
No,
like
I just
little
am interested.
secrets or codes or shit. I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like having to flip it over and look.
Oh, I think
I'm
it's fun.
I'm very comfortable not looking, even if there is a prize.
Don't
and
lie to me. I've seen
hate
you
it.
drink Little Kings.
That was, I never looked. I've never looked.
You always look.
I've
That's
never
the one
looked.
with the cards, right?
I don't know. I've never looked.
You've showed me this.
These are lies.
Maybe it was Woodchucks.
Quit slandering
Was
my
it Woodchucks?
almost good name.
I don't drink, so I don't
drink
know.
woodchucks. I don't like hard cider.
I don't.
It's dumb.
Fine. Then it was Little Kings. I don't remember.
You are wrong. I do not drink hard cider.
Thought you were my wife for a minute.
Stay on that. My sister does. I can't stand it.
So
Be a
Kristen,
man, Katie.
Kristen would she'd go out sometimes and she'd be like, she'd come home and she'd be like, I had a beer. And I'm like, you
It's
had
not a
beer?
beer.
That's so weird. And she's like, I was like, it's so weird that you had a beer. And she's like, like a cider. I was like, that's not a beer.
That's like saying I had a glass of white wine and calling it a beer. It's not the same thing.
Right. It's like calling a Pepsi a Coke because you live in the South. They call everything
What?
Coke.
I don't even like that you said that.
Take it back.
back.
They do. I mean,
Now.
something wrong with them. Must be so hot down there.
But seriously, we gotta talk about this bad movie.
Oh man, we have different takes.
Yeah.
Also,
think
let me
we
say
do.
this: we got time, man. We're 4 minutes into this bad boy. We can talk about whatever we want for at least another 4 minutes.
I mean, I didn't come equipped. Like, normally I'm equipped Like I got stuff.
Normally you have silly stories, but the person that you typically have silly stories about is on vacation.
I guess that is true.
So your life is significantly less annoying than usual, but
I've been getting stuff done though. I think like when the idiots in my life are on vacation, then I'm productive.
let me ask you a question.
I'm gonna give you an answer, Zach.
Did you intentionally make the targets for your new axe throwing backyard look like boobs?
The problem with using natural wood is that anytime you draw a circle and then a smaller circle inside of it, especially when they're next to each other, it's gonna look like boobs.
I don't think it has anything to do with the
Kinda
wood.
looks like boobs.
I think it has to do with the fact that you drew boobs
Well,
and then threw axes
okay,
at
so
them.
there's 3 levels. So I was thinking the same thing. Like I don't want them to look like eyes, but now you have the outer boob, which is the boob, and then you have the areola, which is the medium, and then the nipple is the center.
bullseye.
So yeah, you got 2 boobs
bull's
in my
nip.
backyard. Now I want you to know this was unintentional. Most
That
of my
was my question.
Most of my shenanigans, I would say a good 70% are unintentional. It's just me being alive and not being aware at all.
You existing. This is what happens as you
And-
exist.
Yeah, not.
Okay. Well,
I think things happen at me.
such is life, I suppose.
I'm going to tell you a little story that I finally confessed to my lady friend yesterday.
Sure.
And it's one of those stories that it's so embarrassing that I fell for this that I've just never told anyone. It's just one of the ones that I've kept silent for years now.
Oh boy.
And when I tell people, they're going to say, "You're such an idiot." When I literally was reading a book about saving money, and I'm like, it was like, sell stuff that you don't use. I'm like, sure, I'll do it right now because I'm like, I'm going to make good financial decisions. So I go to sell my original Nikon, my DSLR, and I go to sell it online, and the first person is a priest from Nigeria, and I sent the camera to Nigeria and then found out it was a scam. And when I contacted Amazon, they're like, "We don't do business with people in Nigeria." And I was like, "Huh, that's how I found out that it's a scam." He said he was a priest. I'm like, what a good guy. Fucking shit. So now everyone knows. That's how I found out. I lost $250.
You initiated
I did.
a Nigerian prince scam
I
on
did.
yourself
I did. I
and
found
fell
him.
for it. You said, please scam me.
I didn't know. I was even the person from Amazon was like, "We don't even do that. How did you even find this?"
Oh, jeez.
So, sorry. Like I felt bad. Like I lost the money. Why am I embarrassed?
You mean that gift that you gave that
I
prince?
give the priest. I think he misspelled it. I think it was Prince. What tipped me off is after I sent it, he said he needed a credit of money, so he was trying to get me to send him money. And I was like, I guess that makes sense. And I didn't send him the money. But there was a moment where I'm like, how does that make sense? Maybe I just don't understand
I need
it.
a credit
It's
of
a
money.
whole different country. I'm like, I don't know their customs.
But
Like,
you know
that's-
yours.
the problem
which
is
giving cameras
Is that if
to
I'm
Nigerian
not
priests.
insanely paranoid, I'm very trustworthy. You either get one or the other. So you either get insane paranoia or just complete. Oh yeah, take my camera, no problem. You need more you need credits?
Yeah.
I got credits. I'll ship them right over to you.
Oh no! You need credits before I can give you my camera? Of course I will.
This is why they don't want to tell you,
Fuck.
especially. I think my ex-wife at the time was like, "What happened to that camera?" I'm like, "I lost it." Like,
I don't know what happened.
which is technically true. I lost it in a scam.
See, I think I asked you about that camera once, and you said I gave it to my ex-wife. Were you married to a Nigerian priest?
That was
what I
part
wanted
of
to
the
know.
agreement. That was after the
I had to
credits.
marry him
That was
first.
after the credits.
I gave him the credits, then I had to marry him. It turns out in his country you can only receive a camera from someone you're married to. So I had to do it.
He said
to get
his
the
name
money
was
that I gave him.
Christopher, and I was like, "That's my name." I was just like Fuck! He had me. He'd done his research.
You assumed he was you from an alternate timeline.
That's such a good move, though. Like,
You
because
thought he was a variant?
Because, you trust yourself, I guess, or most people should. That, like, when you see your own name, you're like, I love it. That's a good scam. That's why. That's why I always have people introduce themselves before I introduce me, because I'm like, hey, how are you? And they're like, he's like, I'm Matt. I'm like, I'm also Matt. I just lie to people constantly about
I tell
who I am.
people that you're
except
Matt
for in
all
this
the time.
podcast. Okay, so it's just Matt and Zach.
I think you're Matt now.
Yeah.
No. It's the show is still Keystone Copycats with Chris and Zach. You're just filling in.
Oh, for Chris?
Yeah.
He couldn't be here today.
He couldn't be here.
He's off selling some. Well, not selling, but donating.
He's off getting scammed.
Listen, I feel bad enough, okay?
I don't know if you do.
The problem is that I'm like, no matter how much money I make in the future, I'll never have that money plus $250 that I could have got. I'll never
That's
catch
true.
up. I will never, ever catch up.
I'm so, like,
Say it.
I have so many things.
Say it.
I have so many things to say.
Say it. Do you want to talk about the movie?
I think your camera was like nicer than my Nikon that I sold, and I sold it for more than that.
It's all right. I get it. I get it. Did you sell it for real money?
Yeah, to our good friend Sarah Davis.
I sold it for a good story.
You got paid in experience, in real world experience.
in Wampus, which that's actually more. Set your watch to that, Zach. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't wear a watch.
You know what I'm saying, Zach? Is that how you do it, Zach? Is that really how you do
Oh,
it?
Jesus.
I want to. I want to talk about the movie now. I don't want to talk about me anymore. I've done my quota for the week. I'm going to read the synopsis for Sugar.
Oh, yeah. Can
and
you give us a
Spice.
synopsis from 2001 Sugar and
A
Spice?
local fool tries to sell a camera online.
A fool and his camera are soon parted.
A popular high school cheerleader gets pregnant by the quarterback and turns to crime to support her desired lifestyle. That's IMDb this time.
That's reliable.
I put a slight effort to it.
I like the IMDb synopsis.
So starting off, just the
Directed
beginning
by
of,
Francine McDougall.
yeah, which I looked her up.
This
I
is
didn't
two
really see
movies in a
anything else
row
that.
with female directors.
Yes, I do recall that, but
Actually,
I didn't see anything
or
else.
no,
that
it's not two in a row.
No, not in
The
a row.
Town
I
was
was
not,
gonna,
but
I was,
yeah,
I was
no,
gonna give it.
that's-
I was
I'm
just gonna
dumb.
let it go. I was gonna let it go. But
Well, look, we're both dumb. That's what the podcast. That's
we're
what
both
we
dumb.
should call it.
We should just rename it. I think people would
we
go
should.
with it. But whatever I was getting at. Oh, okay, so the opening of this movie, one of the leads is looking in the mirror and talking to herself.
Yeah.
Do you talk to yourself in the mirror?
I don't talk to myself. I have
At
an
all?
inner monologue, so I'm constantly talking to myself. My thoughts are me talking to myself.
Okay, that's a little bit of a diluted answer.
No, it isn't. That's like there are people who have inner monologues and there are people who don't.
Oh, I thought everyone did.
No, some people don't.
Really?
Just like some people can't picture things in
Oh,
their
that's why I
head.
was thrown off.
It's weird. No, it's weird.
Oh.
I don't like
Okay,
it.
well, that being said, I fucking flat out loudly speak to
I
myself.
sometimes have arguments, like in my, like I'll be having an argument in my head and I'll be like, no, that's bullshit. Like I'll say something like, you know.
Yeah, no, if I see myself in the mirror, I'm talking to me. Like, both sides, obviously.
Like Taxi Driver?
Yeah, I don't threaten myself as much anymore.
Because you know you're talking to you.
Because I'm not afraid of me.
Yeah, who else you be talking to?
I don't even work out. I couldn't punch that hard, probably. I do throw axes now, so there's that.
So
I would be scared that I might throw an axe at the mirror.
You threw axes before. It's just now more organized. Than
I
it
can
was.
hit things now, yeah.
So I thought this was interesting when I was writing down the cast on IMDb. The first 4 people listed all started with M's.
Ew.
Marla Sokoloff,
Yes, yeah,
who
I saw that
I'm
too.
a fan of. I like her. Marley Shelton, Melissa George, Mina Savari.
She's casted perfectly. One
She's so
high
good.
note on this is that I think the other thing she might have been in 10 Things I Hate About You. Maybe
Marla
I'm blanking.
Sokoloff?
Yeah,
Maybe she was in a lot of those like 90s teen ones, and she was also on.
she's on. Yeah,
She was on like Boston Public, or
Okay.
she was on like a a lawyer show in the early 2000s that I watched and I liked her on.
She is the cliched mean girl in
Yeah.
high school, and she does it so well. Just her looks of that degrading
That
nature.
face, man.
It's perfect.
She's got a great face for it.
There's a lot of attractive women in this that I had crushes on.
You're correct. I agree. You know what? There was one of the cheerleaders who looked so familiar and I couldn't place where she was from. It might have been the religious one.
No, she's from Road Trip. She's the girlfriend in Road Trip.
Road Trip.
Yeah, she's a brunette in that one.
That's it. You know what? Because I had
a crush on her.
I looked up her like IMDb.
Because she kind of looks like Heather Graham, a little bit.
No, that's the main. That's the main girl.
Nope. No, the religious one, the Christian one. She looks like Heather Graham.
Oh, I think the main girl looks like Heather Graham. I don't think the other one does.
Blonde.
Like I just think her face shape, the big eyes, like. You thought the religious one looked? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was 2001. A lot of people looked like Heather Graham, and good for them. Good for them.
So there's So
you didn't like this movie?
No.
I really did. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It was really short. Huh.
I mean, yeah. You mean length? Short?
Yeah.
I just don't think anything was It was very forgettable. I think the problem was for me is that Diane's the main one, right?
Yeah, the one that looks like Heather Graham.
I don't think she knew she was in a comedy. I think she was playing it straightish. Like she didn't get Jack, Jane. Blanking on his name.
James Marsden.
James Marsden.
He was great.
Yeah, the classic Prince role. He was playing. He was being big. He he was hamming it up, and
but I think that works for his character. He's this oblivious kind of doofus,
and she's I don't
know. I thought it worked for it. I don't know. There's definitely a way you could make this movie where it's a lot jokier and a lot more I don't know. But I tend to find the comedy in a straight performance, and the situation is what's funny. I don't know. But I feel like if I had seen
There's
this,
definitely a lot of homophobic remarks over and over and over. But what I liked is that I was watching movies with subtitles on, and every time they would come up, it's like my subtitles wouldn't allow it. So it would change from she said, she drops the the fag, whatever. She says out of my way fag, and it changed it to Bruce, out of my way Bruce, and I'm like, well, you can't sub that. What are you doing?
That has a very different meaning.
Because the guy's name,
the
guy's name was Bruce. But I'm like, are you trying to say that's what it means? But there was multiple times that would happen.
That's interesting.
And then towards the end with the subtitles, there was just another degrading whatever. I think says something vulgar and homophobic, and then it just didn't. It did the what's it called? The ellipsis. It just didn't put the word. I was just like, what? Okay.
That's really strange.
My subtitles is kind of.
My subtitles had everything. It didn't change it.
Oh, really?
I mean,
it changed the word shit to twit, and I'm like, well, hang on, is this just a PG setting?
Full twit. No, it did the standard kind of stuff where it would be miss a word from a line or change it so it was a quicker version of it. In fast-paced dialogue. I don't know. Subtitles are weird.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
It's like reading a book, but you're not.
But it's a movie. So I think if I don't know, I think this falls in with movies like Election or She's All That or 10 Things I Hate About You. I think it's another one of those. And I think it's playing on those tropes from those teen movies, and it's using that along with the inspiration for the heist stuff.
It's like it didn't know if it was a spoof or not. It kept touching the water, and then randomly they would just have peppered in farts, and you're like, all right, okay.
That tonally, I was not super into that.
I don't think it was a great movie.
No, I don't think it was a great movie, but I thought it was enjoyable. But I think
I'm glad I rented it.
if it was a spoof,
Not bought it.
same. If it was I don't like spoof movies.
No,
I think
I don't.
they're
I don't
very
either.
stupid.
I'm saying like it was
Like-
borderline. It wasn't sure if it was supposed to go or not.
Yeah.
Like with being on stage, like and maybe it's just because we weren't like preppy kids in high school.
Yeah.
But like when the audio video guy like is up for their homecoming king
God.
and they throw something at him and everyone cheers because he gets hit in the head, I'm like, I would definitely hang out with that dude of all of them. Like he seemed like
Yeah.
the most interesting. But it's like those stereotypes where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, because he's a nerd, we're not supposed to like him. I'm just like, all right.
But I think it was playing really heavily
It's
into
2000.
that.
It's 2001. The jokes are pretty dated.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Hey Zach, it was a different time. You have to understand, it was a different time.
I do think that.
Do you?
I do think that there are some really great similarities to Raising Arizona. Like, I think they played into that. You know, the whole, like, she's pregnant, they need to find money, like, there's that part of it. And then, like, even the stuff where, like, their parents, like, kind of disown them is like, oh, they don't have anywhere to go. Like, it's, you know, furthering this issue. I don't know.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, I don't think like it wasn't realistic at all.
No, it was definitely very extreme. But I mean, that's
Like when they get kicked out right away. Like
Yeah.
like they come down for like on prom night and they're like, guess what? We're getting married, and they're like, yeah, it's finally like, and we're pregnant. They're like disowned, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, one was far fetched, and so why shouldn't the other one be?
right. So of course, the setup of we're happy about the marriage is counterbalanced by we're unhappy about the pregnancy.
I did love Jack as the jock, as the like when they introduce him, like he's the new student, and they introduce him as the new quarterback. What school, what high school just has a new student come in and just makes him the lead, the star quarterback?
Who knows? I
That
mean,
was fun. His smile is so comical.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, have you seen that guy? I'd make
Have you
him
seen
the quarterback.
What's the one where he plays the prince and
Enchanted?
Enchanted. That's such a good movie.
That's a really fun movie.
Yeah, it is.
Um,
So when all the ladies are in the restroom and they're passing the tampons underneath because they're like they were such good friends that they even had their periods together or whatever. They say when their Aunt Rose would come to visit, isn't it Aunt Flo?
yeah.
Why, I've never heard Aunt Rose. Why is it Aunt Rose, Zach?
I haven't either.
Explain the petals to me. What does that mean?
Explain the petals.
The rose.
You're the one making this way grosser than it needs to be.
I think it needs to be this way for me to understand.
Yeah, I think you do.
Well, but like if they were female and were male, so like what would the guy version be? Like if you had to say like uncle something, what would it be? Would it be like Uncle Bloodbear or like what would it be?
What does that even mean?
I don't know. I'm just trying to spitball here with you. Like what would they
Let's get into some tropes.
Got you.
What do you think about trope number 1? Young.
Oh, I gotta flip. I gotta flip my page. I was merciful to this movie.
I said yes
Yeah.
to trope number 1.
Fern, right?
Well, yes, but also just the name of the trope. She's pregnant by definition. She's in high school. She's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah, I gave it I wasn't too harsh this week.
Yeah.
So I give it to her. First Point Break.
Yeah. First break point. Yes.
You just want to do all the tropes, or how do you want to do this one?
I don't know. I realized that we had been
Zach,
talking about the movie for a while, and we hadn't mentioned a trope.
We're the bosses. That's the best part of this.
We haven't
is
recorded
that we listen
a
to
mainline
no
episode.
one.
We haven't recorded a mainline episode in
I'm
don't know,
I'm
2
doing
months?
this with my hand. I want you to know
It's been a really
how
long
direct
time.
my hand can be when I'm being affirmative.
He wants you to think his hand is direct, but it is anything but.
Wah, wah.
He's got this floppy
It's like the head
hand.
of
a duck.
a duck.
The dong.
The tongue of a duck. That's right. That's right.
All right.
Do you want to do two?
Yeah, let's
Do you wanna
get it. Let's
through
do
a couple of them?
2. Let's go. Let's let's go through a couple. I think
Pappas?
I think number 2. I don't have a Pappas. Do you have a Pappas?
No, absolutely not. Who could be the closest thing is the Terminator. Closest thing, and that's
there
not,
was some
that's
wackiness.
Now, another thing. So the ex-Terminator, which is the Terminator, when they need to buy guns, they go to the Terminator because he sells guns illegally, and they meet him, and he's what you imagine, he's the hard guy that's selling illegal firearms to children, basically.
Yes.
Or to underage.
Children is
high school.
perfectly
Yeah,
okay.
well, they're 17, 18, so I don't want to say children, but sure. So they're these high schoolers, and he's this hard, tough guy. And then when his daughter is cheerleading, then he's like losing his mind, like frantically clapping, and you're like, I mean, I see what you tried to do there, but
I don't know. I don't know
land.
that joke landed. Yeah, I'm with you. What do you think about Utah Falls for a Girl in the Gang? There's no Utah.
No, I was gonna say
there's no Utah.
No, I mean, like no one's
I give
in
it a
the
no.
gang.
There's no Utah
that they go for. Like the only relationship is Jack and what Diana?
Diane.
Sorry,
It's a little ditty.
Little ditty. You're a little ditty.
They're sucking on chili dogs.
Oh, I hope this is from something.
Yeah, it's a little ditty about Jack and Diane.
Did they say sucking on a chili
They
dog
say
in that
sucking
song?
on chili dogs
Well,
outside the
that would
Tasty
be
Freeze.
so messy. Oh,
Sucking on chili dogs.
that's what you call it when a guy gets his period.
Nope.
Sucking on a chili
Nope.
dog.
Not going down that road. Okay, so Adrenaline Junkies.
Yes.
I said
I'll give
yes.
it to them because they're cheerleading.
I said yes.
Because anyone who's flipping that high, I'll give credit to. That's
even if it's
terrifying.
against regulation or whatever.
Yeah. Did you look that up by chance? What
No.
they were doing that was illegal?
I mean, she said, like, pretty clear, like, what they were doing wrong. I didn't write it down.
It's all right. I like to do big size too.
Yeah, it's fun. So, all right. Number 5. Frenemies?
No.
I said yes.
No.
Stop it.
What?
It's in
No. Why? Who? Who and what?
So,
At the end?
at the end.
Oh.
I gave it at the end.
Oh, I can see that. I can see that.
I gave it
it wasn't a big enough part.
I gave it before that. I mean, she's
Well,
the
you
narrator.
know what? She's the narrator.
She's the narrator.
Okay.
She's a big part. Like,
You know what? I'm going to change
she's
fun.
the
I'm gonna change
closest
fun.
to a Utah that we have. She's trying to infiltrate them. She's working with the FBI.
You're right, because I was going to say, but they're not really friends, but I'm like, that's the whole thing with frenemies.
They get it
is
at
you're
the
not
end,
really.
yeah.
Okay,
And she wants
fine.
to be a part of it.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you.
What else do we got? 50-Year Storm? I got no 50-Year Storm.
No, I don't see. There's no.
No, because there's only one heist. Like, if there's more than
Also-
one heist, it's different.
I did not expect that. I didn't think that this whole movie was going to be based around one heist. I thought it was going to be like they start becoming bank
You
robbers.
thought that was a
and there's
thing
gonna
that
be
they did?
Yeah, I thought they were
Yeah.
going to jump in way earlier. So during the planning thing, I'm just like, man, they're pretty far into this. Because the movie's only, what, like an hour and 40 minutes, if that?
Not even. It's not even an hour. It's an hour 20.
Hour 20. Yeah, I'm like, I want to say it was like 50 in. I'm like, man, they're still planning for this.
Yeah.
Heist. Like, oh, okay, that's what the movie's going to be. I just wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that.
Well, and I thought similarly, I thought it was going to be a thing where, like, they were bank robbers, and then this girl finds out about it. But, like, really, it's, like, this other crazy story. And that's where, like, the whole thing of, like, oh, the Raising Arizona of it is, like, she gets pregnant, and they need money to live. And, like, so it's out of desperation. And it's a silly, like, movie, of course, but, like, it does have those, like, real stakes of, like, I'm a pregnant high schooler, and my quarterback husband is, like, this doofus who works at a video store after school, But I love that they're inspired by Point Break. I love it. I love that they watch Point Break.
Watched Point Break in this movie.
Right.
I honestly couldn't believe it. I was thinking, like, did we pick this? Did I forget that? Like,
I had never seen it.
yeah. Say, did we pick this intentionally because they
No, that
watched
was
Point
lucky.
Break? But I did like Kansas's line when someone's critiquing it, like, so hang on, so he saw it, so Papa saw a tan line, so now they're chasing these bank robbers, and she goes, shut up and watch Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
that was
it's
basically
great.
it.
It's great.
Like, just shut up. It doesn't matter. Keanu Reeves is
So
fine.
then after they watch Point Break and get inspired, they watch other movies to learn stuff. And did you make a note of what they watched? They watched Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, I did see that.
They watched Heat.
Saw Heat.
They watched The Apple Dumpling Gang.
Yeah, I never saw that.
That's like a Disney, like, Don Knotts movie.
Oh, God. Was that the PG one? Or
Yeah.
the G one she was talking about?
And then they watched Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah, she had to make an excuse for watching a PG and saying it was so she could count her sins or something stupid.
Counting curse words for church. I thought her character was fun. She was funny.
What, the Christian one?
Yeah, I thought that, like...
I was going to be more, little more harsh on her when she was like, with this money you could give it to a charity or solve world hunger. She goes, or buy a horse. And I'm like, well, the Christian girl wouldn't say that, but I'm like, oh, well, she's also a child, so
yeah,
okay,
she's a kid.
fine.
Like, yeah,
she's naive.
So I did like the stereotypes. I liked that they were broken down that easily. That, like, the narrator from the beginning was like, she's this and she's this and she's this. Like,
yeah,
I thought it was a fun way to play that, like, heist movie trope of, like, breaking
and how they
down
really
the gang.
summed up all women that go to jail are just yeah, that's pretty hard, dude.
Yeah, that was a little
pretty rough to watch.
That was a little rough. And that, like, Kansas was like, "You're gay. I don't want your help anymore, even though you murdered my father. Like, I'm pissed about being gay." Like, come on.
Yeah, like, this movie was rough, bro.
Well, I mean, and not to, like, defend it, but it's just like, yeah, that's the time. That's, like, that was the time that it was made in.
It was just they specifically, like, targeted, I guess, homophobia. That's what it was.
Yeah, there was a lot of homophobia in this movie.
That's what it was based around. Like, all the harshness of it was the routine joke.
Yeah, and it was honestly, you're right. It was how, like, casually that was a joke, that it was like, oh, her mom's gay.
But more derogatory than just saying gay. Though.
Right, exactly.
Hang on. What
you're right.
was the next? I wanted to move to the next trip. Oh, it's because the Christian girl.
The Bodhisattva?
Yeah, the spiritual perspective. So what do you have?
Oh, I said no.
Yes, because of her. And also Diane, she does the mirror thing every morning, like the positivity. So I gave it a yes.
I got to reconsider.
It was less of the Christianity and more of just the positive, because every time she was like, like lemons. She didn't actually say lemons lemonade, but like that was the she had another line that was I should have wrote down for this particular.
Look, we're a little rusty.
Point.
Next week
we need some
oiled up
oil cans, right?
Oil can, like the Tin Man.
Jackie Tinman. Put her there. Right there.
Put her there. I need a little bit of oil can.
You just want to, we need to get like
we got a
three
couple
more.
left.
You just want to power through and then we can go back to the actual movie points?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really thinking about that spiritual perspective. Like, I don't know.
I want to remember what she said.
Well, you're not gonna.
It was so meaningful that I forgot completely. What you gonna diddle over there?
You is what I'm gonna diddle over there.
I like it. So, did you like when Kansas's grandma, who she lives with, comes down the steps? They really do a Charlie Brown thing.
Yeah,
with the steps where they only see her legs and hear her voice.
It was like Larry David doing the like George Steinbrenner voice. Like, that's what it sounded like.
I really think that they saved money and just the guy who they casted for Terminator just wanted to give a little bit of a bonus check, and like that was just him who came down in a muumuu. But I did enjoy that joke.
Yeah, that was fun. I like this movie. It's not like, this isn't like, I'm not going to go raving about it. I'm not going to tell everybody they need to watch this. But like,
you need a flag made.
It was a fun movie.
I know a flag guy.
Do you really?
Henry.
I thought you meant like a guy that like made flags.
Yeah, it's Eric.
Oh boy!
I guarantee I can get him to make a flag.
Mess. Yeah, probably. All right, you swayed me. I'm giving it.
It took you that long to think about it?
I had to really think about it.
Gosh.
I'm giving it to you.
Like
this is
going
to
to be your breakfast at 1 p.m.
This is gonna be. I haven't eaten breakfast yet.
Atith.
Don't remind me.
Still working on all that.
I'm all torn up inside about it.
Listen, you just need a couple Coke pancakes. You'll be doing great.
Oh,
Or waffly.
man, it feels like a Monday talking about Coke pancakes. Oh,
When-
don't get me
we
started
can't-
on Mondays.
We can't do it. Wednesdays, right? Hump day.
Wah, wah.
I do not like the term hump day.
No, it's bad. Look, no,
so
we
weird.
talked about that already last week.
You want to talk about it again? We can just keep doing it again. I have the memory of a fish. We can just keep doing the same episode. I don't mind that.
Is that not what we're doing?
Wait, what? That's why Groundhog Day just made sense.
You know what?
So
Season 3, we're back to time
I'm
loops.
just going to annihilate this one. Number 8, they wear masks. I mean,
Somebody stop me! I gave it a yes.
you know what I think. Yeah, I think it was just an error when they were making the movie. Is when the news reporter comes on, he says, the bank heist, talking about the bank heist, and he says, five people in Betty masks,
dolls.
but Nixon was there.
But Nixon was there.
So was that
No, but he also said 5 pregnant Bettys.
Yeah.
One of them is pregnant. One of them is a Nixon. They all become, and I think that's intentional based on
because Nixon knocked them all up.
No, I think it's like I think it's about like the reliability of the eyewitness testimony, saying like, yeah, no, there were not 5 pregnant Betty dolls. There was 4. One was pregnant and one was Nixon.
No, there's 5 of them. And
There was
Nixon.
4 Bettys and a Nixon. That's what I'm saying.
Oh wait, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I messed up.
So there's
I
5
messed up.
people, one of whom was pregnant.
Sometimes counting is harder on Wednesdays, I think.
I don't think that was a Wednesday. I'll look it up. I'll look up December 26, 2001.
I meant myself. I'm over here.
Huh.
I don't deal well with numbers. Sometimes when you promise me 250, I take 0. I just
Yeah, but I need that camera, and if you could give me a couple credits at the same time.
I just didn't know what universe it was.
I need units.
Taking credits. That's like a Star Wars thing, right?
Yeah. It's like the laziest, like Dread.
Yeah, credits.
The laziest form of payment that you can talk about.
In the future, Zach,
I need
they're
a
all
million
credits.
monetary credits.
I mean, give me some credit,
Ho, 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 ho.
You do a good Santa.
Ho, ho, ho.
You do a good Santa.
I would. I'd do a bad Santa, too.
So, you know what I didn't enjoy? Is that the
This movie?
heist didn't really go wrong.
There
Like
were,
that
there were
dude.
moments.
There was that
But
dude.
it still worked out, like, so
I don't like when I can predict comedy.
Yeah.
And when they were like when both of them were like, "Hey, get on the floor," and then the other was like, "Stay up," and then
Yeah,
they kept going back and
yeah.
forth. I'm like, I just
All
kept
right,
teeter
all
tottering.
right. It
Like
went a
the
little-
joke's done. Stop it.
It wasn't as bad as someone claiming that another person is mispronouncing something when they're saying it exactly the same, which is the least funny thing in comedy.
Give me an example.
What would you call this beverage?
Tomato.
No, it's tomato.
Tomato.
No, it's tomato.
Tomato.
No, it's tomato.
Tomato.
No, it's tomato.
I get why this is annoying, and
It's
and,
fucking
and
stupid.
I think they do too.
It's fucking stupid.
Now,
and I will
if
rant
I said potato,
about this until I am dead.
you would say tomato,
No, if I said, hello, my name is Zach, and you said, hi, Zach, and I said, no, it's Zach.
and I'd say
No, Zach.
and I would say I'm a tomato.
Ooh.
Do you want a tomato? And that's
I think we should do a whole podcast on how stupid that fucking joke is and how much I hate it. Oh, God.
how do you really feel about your wiping your eye?
Been ranting about this fucking joke for like 2 years.
I had to catch my little breath over here.
Yeah, and as long as it's not a big one.
So the heist, no, but I'm saying no.
No,
Doesn't
so
go.
the heist didn't fall apart.
Because the duct tape gun went off.
Because the duct tape gun went off.
Like,
That's correct.
were those Nerf parts?
I don't know.
It
All right,
seemed
you want
like
to get to number 10?
we can.
Vaya con Dios.
What you go first?
You
go
know
first.
I said yes.
Yeah.
The frenemies made it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big yes for me.
I'm on board. I'm on board.
I think this movie might be like 90% Point Break.
Yeah, I think. What do I got? I got 6 to 10. I'm sorry.
I got 7.
No, I'm sorry. I got 7 to 10.
It's wild.
It's surprising, but this is like one I was real wrong about the town, even though in my head it's still like,
Yeah.
no, it's very similar, but no, when it comes down
You know,
to
though,
the
so,
to the
like-
breaks.
So I realized that you can't have the heist fall apart if there's only one heist. The way it works is that you see the crew pull it off flawlessly
Yep, yep.
several times, and then a variable is introduced and fucks everything up.
Well,
that's the only way it
I don't
works
know.
that way.
If everything would have been the exact same. And by the way, they faded out. Like, why did they fade out?
I don't
of that heist? So if they don't do the fade out and they walk out, and then there's just a lone officer writing a parking ticket and they get busted, I think that still counts. Still falls apart. But I see what
It
you're
does.
saying.
No, I would have given it to him. I would have given it to him then.
But you're right.
Like,
It's more impactful. Has more weight when you see the slow progression.
yeah.
Of the
Because you want to see that they can do it
Faultiness.
well. I don't know. I thought this was an enjoyable movie and worth a watch.
You're entitled to your opinion, Zach. I will not steal it from you.
I think that you
promise.
like the movie. So, okay. So, here's something that I noticed, and I think it could be a problem. And maybe it means that we did a bad job picking movies.
Well,
the
a lot of the
movies-
weight's going to be on you.
No. I mean, season 1, I'll take it all.
I'm looking at you. I'm nodding.
All of the movies so far,
Yep.
after Point Break, are from the point of view of the bank robbers.
Oh.
How'd we do that?
Time will tell.
The main character in Point Break is Utah. He is the main character. We have not had a Utah in either of these first two
The
movies
only
that we've
thing
done.
I've ever known about time is that it tells, Zach. So
It will.
I think you need to settle down. You're getting a little shaky, and that's okay.
I just-
did put
just-
stuff.
I
I
just-
did
I
put
just-
stuff
I
in your
just-
tomato
I just-
water.
I just-
So it's
I
So,
don't know.
The problem I have with this movie is that there's no lesson to be learned.
No,
It just
because they
kinda
succeed.
ends.
They succeed, so they don't learn a lesson except that, like, hey, we got away by giving this girl what she wanted.
Yeah,
Like, that's
and
it.
Don't get me wrong; like I don't care about theft, but it's just like, all right. So that one time scam just set you for life. I got it. Got it.
I think the idea was like they got enough money that they could be fine until they could like get on their feet. Like, because obviously once they graduate high school, then they have more time to work, and then like maybe like the parents seeing that they could do it on their own would like welcome them back in and give them more help. I don't know. I always looked at it as like a bridge to what's next.
Yeah. So here's an important thing that we kind of jumped over.
Okay. Was it a bridge?
Yeah, and that's Count Chocula to the Trix Rabbit. When they're going through the cereal aisle, and Jack's talking about all his favorite cereals and being an adult and what he should pick. He's talking about Count Chocula versus the Trix Rabbit.
Yeah.
If you were going to start a small business with one of these two characters, which one do you pick as your partner?
Chocula, he's ruthless.
Oh, okay. See, I was gonna pick Chocolate because he's more responsible. I feel like
mean, that too.
that rabbit would be bouncing off.
But
the
also,
wall.
he's your fucking capital. He's from this like ancient family that's like rich.
yeah,
he's
yeah.
royalty. Like, he's got the European connection that you don't have.
And
Also,
and,
he has chocolate.
and you think he's isolated up there in his castle, but
He's got connections.
He can just fly down. He can just fly down and check on operations. You never know he was there. Yeah, that's okay.
Right?
Okay, we're on the same page about
right?
this.
Same page.
So I'm gonna go ahead and set up. We do got a clip this week.
Oh, we do have a clip this
So
week. That's true.
I'm going to go ahead and set this up. Now, this is difficult because there was a joke that I don't know. I don't really think it paid off enough. I'll go and say it. One of the cheerleaders
Betties.
has a big crush on Conan. It's like a routine joke throughout
Sure.
the movie, and you know that obviously. Zach, I love Conan, and I know you love Conan.
I love Conan.
So, with the fact that he was predominant in this movie, I'm like, this is great.
yeah.
But I feel like it didn't really, I didn't get it. Like, I thought he was going to make a guest appearance, and then he didn't.
He did.
Well, the picture.
Yeah, but he did.
That,
I mean,
yeah.
I didn't think he was going to show up in
Low
like
bar.
the movie.
It's like saying you're going to meet someone and there's a cardboard cutout that you get to take a picture with.
Well,
But let's go ahead and play the clip so you can see the obsession from, is it Hannah?
No,
it's Cleo.
Cleo.
Then there's Cleo Miller. Number 1, not a real C cup.
Oh.
I've been in the locker room. And number 2, she has to see the school shrink. She's completely obsessed with Conan O'Brien.
Dreams? You mean like where I'm in Conan's all-leather apartment? I mean, I don't know if he has one. That's why it's a dream. And suddenly, we're buck naked and all oiled up. I don't know where the oil comes from.
That's why it's a dream.
Again, that's why it's a dream.
Yeah. So I just wanted to see Conan do a guest appearance.
You wanted Conan
so
to pop
bad.
up.
Yeah. And I didn't know where it was going to. So at the end when there was a picture, I'm like, okay, he was involved in the movie. But, like, did you think they picked him because he somehow knew someone? Or were they just like, because he's not sexually attractive to most people, so that's why they picked him? Like, it's a curveball.
No, I think it was because he is he's weird enough, but he's mainstream enough that people know. But he's also the late night. He's not the Tonight Show. He's not Letterman.
Okay.
He's not.
So you wouldn't pick him first.
Yeah, but he's at the. 2001. His show had been on the air for what 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, that's
reaching.
That was the first year of the year 2000 being very funny because it was outdated.
So yeah, but he's
That was a good. I wouldn't want to say peak because he's always been.
Well,
great,
no, I was
but
gonna say he's hitting his stride. That's right where he's like, oh, he was. I remember I was a very bad high school student, and I would stay up and watch Conan every night, like
As
before,
did I.
like, which is dumb. I don't know why I did that,
No,
but
it's
like,
very smart. It made you.
I was 16 years old, and I would stay up and watch Conan O'Brien.
If one thing I know about time is that it's going to tell that I'm proud of you for staying up and watching Conan.
You ever listen to Conan's podcast?
No.
It's pretty good. He really hits his stride, like I just said. No, he really
When
his interview stuff is like
as your
it's really
therapist,
great as
when
more long
did you feel
form.
he hit his stride?
2001, and then again 20 years later.
Good. That's a good gap.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
What kind of school has a school therapist? Is that a thing?
I think a lot of schools do.
Just not
I think
ours-
we
just
just went
not
to like a
ours.
poor school because we're poor people.
Oh, that poor school.
Yeah, that's right.
I wish someone would have helped us, and we wouldn't have to stay up watching late night TV.
Oh man.
Oh golly gee. Going back on it. Who was? So, you thought it was all right. Who was the target audience?
For this, I mean, this was like teens. This was like high school teens. Like it was like I said, it's like those movies. It was meant for the same audience as She's All That or 10 Things I Hate About You or those type of movies. It was for the Reese Witherspoon fans.
Yeah. Okay.
And like I think if I'd seen it then, I would have been like, oh yeah, that's another one of those. Like it's it's no Can't Hardly Wait, which I love, but
I think I've seen Can't Hardly Wait once, but I'm a 10 Things I Hate About You. Like I freaking love that movie.
yeah, and that's partially
that
because
part where
it's-
Heath Ledger sings in the stadium.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that movie in so many years.
Do you want to set up a dinner date and we can watch it and get to third base? Well, let's plan on second. I don't want to be rushed.
No, I don't want to lead you on.
Do you want me to get my hand up there the long way through the bottom of the pants?
No, I don't think I'll do that.
It's gonna take forever.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
just long dancer's legs.
All right, so we have a question. Oh, you know what? Before we do that, let's wrap this bad boy up. Let's put this puppy to bed.
Let's protect the heck out of it.
So we got a 70% movie.
That's weird. I did not expect that.
That's so weird.
As I was going through the break points, I was adding them up. I'm like, okay, like half. I'm like, I was thinking you'd probably do the same thing. So this is surprising. Good for
I had
good for
half.
it.
I came in tonight with 50%,
So did
and I
I.
added 2 in
Yeah.
the conversation. That's so wild. We almost never do that. All right, so
You mean we're never unprepared?
rarely.
Wrapping it up.
Yeah, let's wrap this bad boy up. We got a question from a listener. His name is Tony, and he asks, he says, listening to the
is it-
podcast makes me want to go back and watch a lot of these movies. Did Deep Impact have a song that carried the movie like Armageddon? I can't think of one. Can you?
I mean, the Sound of Silence.
But
Simon and Garfunkel.
was that even in that?
No, I can't think of a single song.
No,
from
I can't either because there were no
just
needle drops. It was all
ambient
all
sound.
score. You know,
But they can borrow a couple from Armageddon.
so they've got enough to share. Well, because everyone knows I don't want to miss a thing. But like,
Which is like, yeah, but it's just that scene.
So
when he's singing to his daughter.
I
I could not have it.
I recently edited a like high school dance routine, and one of the songs that they had
Good for
used
you.
was a cover of The Sound of Silence, but it was by like the singer of Disturbed. It's
Yep.
legitimately one of the worst things I've ever heard in my life. Like,
Oh,
it was
no, I
so
know what you're
upsettingly
talking about.
bad,
I know- yeah, it's
and
bad.
I was angry. Like
It's
his
bad.
voice sounded like it was like pitch shifted so low, and like he had food caught in his throat, like Alan Rickman.
Yeah,
Which
well,
is a classic.
But going back to Tony's question, even though it was on the spot, I think that even if we had prep time and I looked through the soundtrack, I would still come back and go, no.
No, because it's the point is that it's memorable, and it's not. It's I don't know anything from it. You know.
Yeah.
I think it's a great movie. I really
don't-
like it.
I don't know why I'm thinking like, what was the soundtrack? And I'm like, Ocean Waves. Like,
It's one of those white
something-
noise machines.
Yeah, something to
You're
put
like,
you to
huh.
sleep.
You're like,
when-
jungle, babbling brook, ocean.
Yep. Beach.
Rain.
Beach, which somehow is different.
Yeah, somehow different.
Yeah, but you're right. They do rain, and then there's like rainforest, and you're like, well, all right.
Hang on, but isn't like the dominant
all they
sound
do-
in a rainforest rain?
No, because they add them birds. Which also we have birds here in the rain.
no.
Stupid soundtracks. What do you think? Now that he's brought it up, what do you think space sounds like?
From what I have heard, what I have read,
I think
which
it sounds
is the thing that we lie about
deafening,
doing.
if you took off your mask, it would you would. Well, I know we wouldn't see an explosion because there's no guns in space.
You brought a gun to space.
What you doing with a gun in space?
Oh my god.
Yeah, the sound of space is just your head exploding.
So let me ask you this.
Yes.
What do you think season 3 should be?
I don't know. Or indoor care. Zach, as long as I'm with you.
Oh, it's
I
time
think
loops then.
It's gonna be soup. We can go back. Well, I think if you pitched all those movies again, I would not remember, and I would do them all over just as organically as I did the first. I don't know. I think you said
Maybe you'll come up with some tropes.
You love rom-coms so much. That's what it is. I know it's going to be rom-coms.
Not necessarily.
Because-
So here's the thing.
Let's
we've
do-
got a couple
Okay,
of options.
let's not do genres. Let's just do 10 Things I Hate About You and see how close all these movies get to 10 Things I Hate About
Oh, see how many of them have one of the 10 things
One of the-
that I hate about you. So we'll watch 10 Things I Hate About You. We'll determine what the 10 things are, and then
I know this is a joke. But I think we should do that. Yeah, because it's like, I hate your great big combat boots is one of them. And I'm like, all right, we'll be on the hot look for combat boots.
Oh, jeez.
And if someone does not like them, if they're distasteful.
No.
there.
It's the things I hate about you. So it's the combat boots,
That's what I'm
not
saying.
hating combat
No.
boots.
No, she hates the combat boots.
I know,
So
I know.
So we gotta be on the lookout for someone who hates them.
No, we just got to be on the lookout for combat boots. We
Oh,
can watch
sorry,
Apocalypse Now, and we're like, combat boots. It's got one.
No, but someone's gotta hate them.
Nope.
That's someone,
That's one of the things that she hates about Apocalypse Now is combat boots.
Can we make a book that's like 10 Things I Hate About Waldo, where you gotta find him and then hate something about him, like he's wearing different outfits?
I don't think we can use Waldo. I don't think
This
they'll
is
let us.
going back to the first season. A little thing you taught me about a hat on a hat, which I think is great. I think it's super. I think it
It's
really
a hat for your hat.
adds a high stake to the game. Like, it's high game. You know what I'm saying?
No, high game. That's not a
High
phrase
game.
that people say. So what I did notice in a recent episode that I listened to,
You listen to our podcast?
I do.
Thank you.
Yeah, at the end of the episode, when I thank the listeners, I am also thanking myself because I'm one of them. You know, we got to get into double-digit plays somehow, and if it's not me, then who?
I mean, I've been sending a lot of love to Nigeria.
down the well.
Like, I'm thinking we're gonna get a couple over there.
I'm thinking we're back.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm excited to be back, like a little more on, like caught up to where we are actually releasing shows. Like we're only like a week ahead now, which is great because that way we don't have to sit around and forget how to be podcasters for 3 months while we're releasing everything.
That my favorite part was forgetting where we were all the time, as far as what we had said versus what's about to be released that we said in the past. Now I'm big on time, as you know.
I think the
And I
real
think
time
that's
loop was the
great.
friends we made along the way.
Wow, was I one? I didn't win.
I don't know about that.
I didn't win.
Ew.
Okay, so let's rank this movie as like, okay, so like imagine I'm Caesar and I'm in the Colosseum and I got my thumb on the side, right? Like I'm looking
Are you
right at
little or are you
I'm big
big?
Caesar. I'm big Caesar because I'm up on the, in the.
So do you
in
do
the-
a pizza or like a pizza?
What, I'm gonna do the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Like, where would you do it? Let's do it at the same time, like rock, paper, scissors.
So
like
this
rock,
movie,
paper.
I would give it a
I'm
pizza.
giving just a single pizza.
I wouldn't go pizza, but I'd go a pizza and maybe like a piece of crazy bread.
So I would do thumbs down in the pizza. Like it's still pizza, but someone put their thumb in it.
Yeah,
No, that's how I'm
Yeah.
gonna rate it.
that's words. You said words.
I put them all
Sure.
together myself.
Sure, you said words. Well, thanks for listening this week. We'll announce next week's episode on the Monday mini episode. Have your lasagna ready for that. Oh, man. I want to thank Mark again for guesting on this week's mini episode. He was great. And you can check out his stuff, the movie Chilluminati, and a bunch of stuff that he does. We'll put it in.
Bunch of stuff.
We'll put it in the notes. All right, tell your friends about us and be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. If you like what we do, you can rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us online at KeystoneCopycats.com. We are at Keystone Copycats on Instagram and Facebook, and at Keystone Copycat singular on Twitter. If you got something to say, you can email us at KeystoneCopycats@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 513-239-7682, and we will answer your question on the show. Check out Sinclarity Dinosaur's Tale at dinosaurspodcast.com. And until next time, I'm Zach, and he is...
Please. Bye.